This first story is a must-see. Could you imagine witnessing somebody stealing $190,000 from a backseat of a Tesla? I couldn't. Until you see this video, you may want to have a second opinion. Take a look.
Never leave cash in the car. Watch as a man in a black t-shirt gets out of the... Never leave cash in the car. Watch as a man in a black t-shirt gets out of the white car. He then is seen on camera breaking open the passenger window of the Tesla parked in the next spot. At a gas station in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. One by one, he picks up the boxes from the back seat and then carries them back to his car, handing them off to a female passenger. He then takes off. Inside one of the boxes, police say, was nearly $200,000 in cash. Investigators say the driver of the Tesla was servicing a machine inside the gas station. Now they're looking into whether it was a targeted operation. The suspect, Christopher Plytis, was identified and later arrested. He now faces charges of theft. This is Inside Edition Digital.
I'm trying to think of a sketch that would really be the case scenario.
Son boy fan, what are we gonna do today?
Let's go rob a car.
I don't know. I don't want to go to jail.
Come on, baby, it'll be fun.
Okay. Can we get somebody on the way?
We sure can. Vroom, 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 vroom. There's a box. Hey, open up, open up. Here, take it, take it, put it in the back seat. Let's go, vroom, vroom. And then all of a sudden the guy comes walking back in. Someone's been breaking in my truck. Look, there's a camera in the door, in the gasher cam. Wonder who that could be. You ain't joking. What is this? You're under arrest, man. Nah, man, I ain't doing anything. What's going for dinner tonight? Never leave cash in a car. That's how thieves get you. You leave your cash in the car, it gets stolen. Yeah, pretty sight to see. All right. Here is, okay, we have not talked about school threats in a long time. Let's take a look at some school threats that have been happening throughout this year, because really, I hate when people make a threat to the school and they shut down the school. There were like a bunch of threats that are happening and no one's taking accountability. You hear these public service announcements saying, hey, don't be making all these threats, otherwise you can go to jail. If I already showed this report to you a couple times. There were a lot of threats that after the Oxford school shooting, a bunch of threats have surfaced. And it's all over TikTok. This was near a Wisconsin school.
We turn now to the terrifying scene today at a middle school outside Madison, Wisconsin. A witness reporting the sound of gunshots as children ran for safety. An apparent school shooting threat now over. CBS's Charlie DeMar is there.
We'll have that for you. We'll have that for you come up in a... We'll try to have that for you. But going back to the thing, again, yeah, don't leave cash in a car. Basically, you never want to leave your cash in a car. If you do so, your stuff's gonna get stolen, and they're gonna end up like getting a whole new some cash, a whole new thing. This, that, and the third. You got to get your car replaced. Yada yada. This, that, and the third. And I want people to be more understandable about this. If you want to keep your stuff safe, you lock it up. That's the whole key. You want to keep your stuff, you keep it on a lock and key. Take the cash with you at all times. That we won't be able to get in trouble. Basically how it is. That's basically how it is. Still ahead. Sick in America. Whose body is it anyways? Is it your body or the government's body? We're going to look at some examples from insurance to even grocery insurance to even a showdown with John Stossel and Michael Moore. Stay with us. Look, there was a school shooting at my mom's hometown at a school. And I'm going to say this right now. I am tired. I am tired of all of these threats that are happening. Stop it. I get that you don't like school, but we have to do things. This is part of growing up in life. It's a lifelong lesson that sometimes we have to necessarily do things that we don't want to do. That's part of growing up. And going to school is one of them. Going to work, and the second one is just going to work. And you want to think and say, I'm going to create a school threat and everybody will be on lockdown, schools are shut down, and this, that, and the third. Well, think back to 2 years ago when Oxford happened. School threats were on the rise, and even police were responding. Here's Jeff Begay's.
In South Florida today, 3 students, ages 13 to 15, arrested for allegedly making violent threats on social media.
If you think you're going to post a threat, fake or real, I can promise you, you're not only going to get out of school, because you will, but you're going to jail.
In Connecticut, a 13-year-old was arrested after sharing a post warning of what he might do. There was an increased police presence at schools nationwide after a vague, unverified TikTok challenge went viral, encouraging students to call in threats.
There were just a bunch of threats, like all over the place.
Law enforcement does not believe the threats are credible. Still, at least 176 schools across 18 states closed out of an abundance of caution.
America's education system is under attack right now. We are under attack by a social media platform that will not intervene when it is necessary.
TikTok said it searched the platform but didn't find any threats, just this rumor of violence and warnings to be careful.
There is a threat. Stay safe, everyone.
The school closures and arrests come almost 3 weeks after 4 students were killed at a Michigan high school where warning signs from the shooter were overlooked. Experts say any social media threat should be taken seriously. You have to act like it's credible.
Every threat is real until we disprove it.
Late today, at least 7 students arrested in Texas in connection with alleged threats to schools. In Salt Lake City, police say they arrested a student who brought a gun and bullets to a high school. Nora.
It's a lot of arrests. Jeff Begay's, thank you.
It's a lot of arrests, actually, and no one's doing a damn thing about it. You increase security, you increase police presence, but again, we have to make sure this doesn't happen again. And that could mean finding out whose body is it in when it comes to being sick. Being sick. Which brings us to our main focus. Tonight we're going to have some provocative questions about your health care. With some surprising answers. And even one person named Michael Moore. Here's John Stossel.
Most
Almost everyone agrees. America's healthcare system is a mess. Costs for everything are out of control.
What we have is a dysfunctional healthcare system in the United States of America.
Costs continue to go up.
It makes me angry. I'm getting ripped off.
Ripped off, some say, by drug companies.
I said to the pharmacist, if I paid for this myself, how much would it cost? And she said, $4,602 for 1 month.
Some Americans feel so ripped off, they now travel abroad, even to third world countries.
I went to Malaysia and got a new hip for $8,000.
Many blame America's high costs on insurance companies and their well-paid executives.
Their motive is understandably profit.
I just think it's greed, to tell you the truth.
Others blame doctors and their pursuit of profit.
You can't have for profit when people are sick. I see doctors pulling into the parking lots, the doctors' parking lots, the hospitals, with $45,000 Lexus. What are they doing? They're taking money from sick people.
Lord, deep breathing.
What are doctors doing? Many won't even answer your email. Strangely, in a century when even children use computers, doctors and hospitals often don't.
Why don't doctors use email? Why don't we use email? Why don't we use the telephone?
This doctor says he and his colleagues have no incentive to use email.
Why would they? Because it's efficient. It's a nice way to ask quick questions.
Tough. The federal government has a list of 7,500 procedures it will pay for. The telephone's not on the list. Neither is email. Not even storing your records on computer.
Yet some people want the government to direct more of our health care.
Are you ready for universal health care for every single man, woman, and child?
Hello? Michael Moore's ready for that. Moore's new film Sicko is an attack on health insurance companies. Here he says they corrupt Congress.
4 healthcare lobbyists for every member of Congress. Here's what it costs to buy these men and this woman.
The American healthcare system is a mess, says Harvard Business School professor Regina Hertzlinger. And yet, healthcare could be good.
Healthcare is vibrant and living. It's great. It's full of great doctors and great hospitals and great scientists and great medicines and great technologies. And it's been killed.
Killed, she says, because other people spend our healthcare dollars for us.
It's the insurers. They have our money. We don't know how much of it they have. It's the hospitals. You go to a hospital, you have no idea what it costs.
Employers aren't happy with their end of the deal either. GM now spends more on health insurance than on steel.
And why is our employer buying our insurance anyway? 2/3 of us get our health insurance through our employer. People think it's a good thing, they're covered, but does it make sense? Healthcare tied to your job? That ties you to your job. What if you leave your job?
For 10 years, Vicki Redling got health insurance from the North Carolina furniture company where she worked. But then she quit to sell real estate.
I've reached top sales associate of the month twice so far this year.
She bought a temporary insurance policy to cover her while she shopped for an individual health plan. But then she was diagnosed with breast cancer.
So then they did a lumpectomy, and I had 35 rounds of radiation, and now I take oral chemo every day for 5 years. It's a little pill.
And that's expensive.
That little pill's $300.
Vicki called her temporary insurance company to make sure that coverage would continue.
And I said, listen, I'm on insurance. I've got it. But I just found out I have breast cancer, but I'm okay, right? And they said, no. I said, what do you mean, no? They said, you're done.
Vicki's temporary insurance was about to expire.
I didn't realize how wonderful that insurance card was. It's like holding the golden ticket.
If you try to tie health insurance to the workplace, we're going to help people losing their health insurance every time they change and lose jobs.
Grace Marie Turner of the Galen Institute, which studies free market solutions to healthcare, says it's crazy to lock healthcare to a job.
4 in 10 Americans change their jobs every year.
And many, like Vicki, lose their insurance when they do.
3 different hospitals, radiology, radiation.
Now Vicki has to pay her bills out of her pocket.
It's just so much.
Vicki did try to find new insurance, but with a pre-existing condition, cancer, she was either turned down or offered a policy that cost $27,000. With an income of $60,000 and twin sons in college, Vicki felt she couldn't afford it. So now she gets by with no insurance.
Do you happen to have your insurance cards with you?
I
do not have insurance.
Do the doctors and hospitals treat you differently when you don't have health insurance?
I feel like I'm dirt when I tell them I don't have an insurance card.
Now, Vicky could have quit her job and spent her assets down until she qualified for free care under Medicaid. But she and her fiance, Tim, wouldn't consider that.
Well, God, I guess we could just sell everything, rent, and then say, well, we've got bankrupt on you.
Then Medicaid would pay.
Or we hide our assets and let the system make dishonest people of us, which we're not going to do.
Some good wrestling. Today, Vicky goes to a doctor only when she has to. She only takes drugs that are absolutely necessary.
And don't find anything. When you're at the doctor, you're so desperate for them not to find anything because you don't know what you do. What's going to happen if my cancer comes back?
Do you, Tim, promise to love and to cherish in sickness and in health, in prosperity?
Today, Vicky is marrying Tim, but the day is bittersweet. Now if she gets sick, Tim will share her debts, and he has a heart condition. When his temporary insurance expires, they'll both be uninsured.
You may now kiss your bride. If one of us gets sick or has a horrible tragedy, we'll go broke.
Nobody should go through this. I feel like I thought it was a really deep hole, and it's so dark. It's so scary, I just don't know.
Who should decide whether you live or die? Do you want a health insurer to decide who's going to make that decision? Is it going to be a government? Is it going to be an insurer? Or is it going to be you and me?
We all need health insurance, but without it, we're fucked. I mean, who would cut off? I mean, it's like being picked for a team. It's like, I choose that person, that person, that person. Rest of you, you're fucked. We need health insurance, but when things happen, you're crossing the line. You're it's like you're bullying us. The government is health insurance companies are bullying us. They're like saying, nope, we ain't gonna cover for you no more. Sucks to be you. And often no one cares about health insurance. Everyone should care. We need that health insurance. Without it, we're fucked. But what about growth? But what about other types of insurances? What if you had grocery insurance? Would you even care what things cost? Or even DoorDashes? You wouldn't care what things cost, like this bread, like these cheesy breadsticks from Papa John with delivery fees and starting taxes. I'll buy everything. We'll talk about that when we come back. Stay with us. We're talking about sick in America, to where if it's your body or the health insurance's body. Which brings us back to health insurance. Everybody says, if you don't have health insurance, you're in real trouble. But could you be still at risk without health insurance? Maybe not, but you still may be at risk. John Stossel explains.
Come on, Janelle.
Kent Valley is self-employed, so he bought a health insurance policy for himself and his family. 2 weeks after the policy went into effect, Kent says his thigh swelled up after it was hit during a game of pickup football.
My significant other, she said this swelling doesn't, it's not going down, it doesn't look normal.
Kent went to a doctor.
He says, Kent, this is a little bit more than just swelling. Well, what do you mean? And he says, well, this looks like it could be a liposarcoma tumor.
A cancerous tumor had been growing in Kent's thigh. He says the swelling from the football injury made him notice it. Blue Cross authorized several rounds of costly chemotherapy and surgeries. For 4 months, the insurer accepted Kent's bills. But then,
I see a letter from Blue Cross, and I opened up the letter thinking it was a normal, payment letter.
It wasn't. Blue Cross had canceled his policy, leaving him with $200,000 in medical bills. Why? Blue Cross believes Kent already suspected something was wrong when he applied for insurance, but he didn't tell them.
They say that I lied on question 18 and 19 on my application, which was thoroughly untrue. Where's that coming?
Kent is suing Blue Cross.
I've lost everything. I've lost 3 houses, lost my car, contemplating bankruptcy.
Healthcare problems like Kent's are the focus of Michael Moore's new documentary, Sicko.
Health insurance companies suck. Flat suck.
I'm calling for the elimination of private profit-making health insurance companies. In my perfect world, they wouldn't exist.
And he gets applause for saying that. Here at the Cannes Film Festival, Moore and his movie got a 20-minute standing ovation. The California Nurses Association gave him another. Earlier, they marched from the State House demanding that the government take over health care. Sicko points out that health insurers have an incentive not to pay.
When you don't spend money on somebody, it's a savings to the company.
They make more money the less they give us.
That's right. So they have to do things like deny care. They have to do things like tell a hospital, no, you can't do that operation for that patient, or tell a doctor, no, you can't send that person to a specialist. They have to do these things if they're going to make money.
But Moore never confronted the insurance industry about that, the way he's done in other movies.
Congressman Castle.
Why didn't you confront them?
Well, because, that's a good question. In my other films, usually you see me
famous for that.
I'm walking up to the door of the CEO or whatever. In this film, I want the audience to get up out of the seat. I want the audience to become active and involved.
Since he didn't go after the executives, I decided to try. It wasn't hard. The insurance industry isn't hiding from reporters.
You're not like barring the door saying I can't see Karen.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. You're very much welcome here.
Industry Association President Karen Ignani is eager to tell anyone that most claims are paid.
We have a claims denial rate on average of 3%.
But people hate their health insurance companies.
I feel very good about the care that individuals who are in health plans are getting. I look at the data every day.
Polls do show that most people who have insurance are satisfied with their coverage. But what about people like Vicky?
That little pill's $300.
She's already sick, so insurance companies won't take her on unless she pays them a fortune.
If we were to take this individual into our healthcare systems along with all the working families and the other individuals who are already there, it means that for them, their costs would increase quite extraordinarily.
That's just the cold, hard fact about insurance. It's a risk pool. People pay premiums into one pot, and the people who don't get sick pay for those who do. The more sick people an insurance company takes on, the higher costs are for everyone. So insurance companies have a reason to avoid people like Vicky.
Go that way.
They also have a reason to investigate people like Kent. Kent still insists he didn't lie on his application. But this week, Blue Cross sent us notes that show Kent saw a doctor about the growth in his thigh the day before he applied for insurance. Insurance companies do need to double check because some people do cheat.
The FBI says the fraud involved more than $1 billion.
To try to protect themselves from fraud, insurance companies create another problem: paperwork.
Charts. Everywhere. War here, everywhere. Now, this is where some of the money goes. This stuff is not free.
Dr. Melvin Gerald has to pay 4 employees just to do insurance paperwork. On average, doctors spend 14% of their income on it, and lots of time.
And some of that time we should be spending with patients.
But the biggest problem with insurance is that it creates nasty incentives. It encourages us to spend more and not to think about what things cost. What if your car insurance covered oil changes and gasoline? You wouldn't care how much gas you use, and you wouldn't care what it costs. Mechanics would sell you $100 oil changes. But that's how it works in healthcare. And some people demand oil changes whether they need them or not.
Does the patient have insurance? They don't ask. They just say, some of them tell them, do this, do that. And some of the things they don't need to have done.
The patients say, do this and do that, because they're not paying. And since patients don't care about costs, neither do doctors.
It's gotten to the point where doctors don't even know how much it costs them to provide this service or that service, or how much an office visit should cost. Try asking a doctor how much an office visit costs and watch their face go blank.
So when people complain that there are
40 million uninsured, 45 million.
46 million.
47 million uninsured.
I say the bigger problem may be that 250 million of us have health insurance. Because imagine how different your life would be if insurance paid for other things you need. What if you had grocery insurance? You wouldn't care what things cost. Why buy hamburger? I'll just buy steak. Why look for sales? Why use coupons? I'll just buy everything. My insurance company's paying.
We'd make a lot more money.
You could raise your prices.
We definitely could.
John Mackey's the founder of this chain, Whole Foods. He laughs at how grocery insurance would change shoppers' behavior.
They buy a lot more because they're spending somebody else's money now.
People would buy a lot more of the wild-caught king salmon from Alaska for $20 a pound than they would this farm-raised tilapia for $6.99 a pound.
Instead of buying a bottle of wine for $7.99, they might buy a $300 bottle of wine.
And yet this is how we pay for health care.
I know. It's ridiculous.
When 2020 returns, is healthcare ridiculous?
It is ridiculous. What if you had insurance? Without grocery insurance, you wouldn't care what things cost. Why buy a hamburger? You could buy steak. Why look for all these sales? Why use coupons? I'll buy everything. Here, I'll buy steak. I'll buy pork. I'll buy chicken. I'll buy some breadcrumbs. I'll buy some oil. Here, take it to the insurance company. Don't pay around the ass for it. I'll buy everything. For crying out loud, I'll just buy everything. My insurance company's paying for it. State Farm's paying for groceries. Even if they did, that'd be a whole different story. Coming up, we're going to take a trip down to Canada where healthcare is free. And even then, you can move there for free healthcare or stay in America where you got to pay for your healthcare. Stay with us. Welcome back. Everything should be free. I mean, we have free shipping for our packages via Amazon or eBay. We should have free movies to watch without commercials. We should have a free subscription to Netflix or whatever. But not for Medicare. If you live in Canada, you get free healthcare. But not here in America. Here in America, you gotta pay for it. Other countries do free. But other people may say, whoa, 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 whoa. Not so fast.
Thank you very much.
What happens when there's a free giveaway? Here it's ice cream cone. People wait in line to get them. Here it's gasoline. People wait in line, wasting gasoline, just to get it. It's the law of supply and demand. Lowering prices increases demand. Lowering it to nothing, here it's beef being passed out, pushes demand through the roof. In countries where healthcare is free, governments deal with that increased demand for it by limiting what's available.
Just trying to get some more beef tomatoes.
It's why the British National Health Service made news by promising it would reduce wait times for hospital care to fewer than 18 weeks. But that's still more than 4 months.
The nationwide shortage of NHS dentists is...
These people are waiting for a dentist appointment.
Hundreds of people queued around the block.
Waits are so long, some people do it themselves. He used super glue. People pull their own teeth, dental tools, pliers, and vodka. Free British Care even inspired one hospital to save money by not changing the bed sheets every day. British papers report, instead of washing them, the staff was encouraged to just turn the sheets over. And year after year, so-called free healthcare leads to doctor protests in France and Germany because governments hold down healthcare costs by paying doctors less. Government rationing in Canada is why when Karen Jepp was about to give birth to quadruplets last month, she was told all the neonatal units she could go to in Canada were too crowded. She flew to Montana to have the babies.
People line up for care, some of them die. That's what happens.
Canadian Dr. David Greatzer, author of The Cure, thought the Canadian system was great until he started treating patients.
The more time I spent in the Canadian system, the more I came across people waiting for radiation therapy, waiting for the knee replacement so they could finally walk up to the second floor of their house.
People wait in line.
You want to see your neurologist because of your stress headache? No problem. You just have to wait 6 months. You want an MRI? No problem. Free as the air. You just got to wait 6 months.
But fans of Canada's system, like Michael Moore, point to the fact that Canadians live longer. Isn't that proof that the Canadian system is better, even if they have to wait in line?
That's the line where they live 3 years longer than we do. That's the line I want to be in.
But Canadians live longer because of things unrelated to health care. Americans are more likely to die in car accidents and 5 times more likely to be murdered. Take those factors into account, not to mention obesity, and Americans live longer than Canadians.
In America, we kill each other more often. We shoot each other. We have more car accidents. Forgive me, more of us look like you. And
yeah,
that's the reason they're living longer in Canada.
I will say, in part, it's because they never have to worry about paying to go see the doctor.
Most Canadians do like their free health care.
Well, it's a hell of a lot better than the States, I know that. Sorry.
And many Americans believe we should copy Canada.
I think Canada is a good model for where the 21st century world needs to go.
But many Canadian doctors tell us the Canadian system is cracking.
Hi, Mr. Bell? Yeah. I'm Dr. Latowski. Nice to meet you.
This man's in this Toronto emergency room because he had a heart attack.
What did they tell you about when an ICU bed might become available?
They're waiting for the chance that somebody may be transferred so that I can get that spot.
Now in America, people wait in emergency rooms too, but not like in Canada.
We can't send these patients to other hospitals that have capacity because there is no other hospital in the area that has capacity. Every other emergency department in the country is just as packed as we are.
There's no bed for this little girl, and she has no pediatrician that her parents can take her to monitor the seizures she gets. In fact, more than 1 million Canadians say they can't find a regular family doctor. Some towns, like this one, hold a lottery. Once a week, the town clerk gets this box out of the closet. Inside are the names of everyone in town who wants a family doctor. She pulls out one slip and then calls the lucky winner.
I just want to let you know that your name has been drawn for Dr. Keel's patient list. Oh, you're quite welcome.
Others in town wait. The waiting has driven some Canadians to go to private clinics like this one. They're in such demand they're springing up now at the rate of almost one per week, even though if you read the law in most parts of Canada, they're illegal.
Many clinics all across Canada are illegal for profit.
Everyone just ignores the law?
Correct. They know they can't get the health care they need from the legal system, so they're complicit in creating an illegal system that'll give them what they need.
This private clinic was started by the president of the Canadian Medical Association. He says his clinic is legal. It will all be fought out in the courts.
We can arrange that within 2 or 3 days.
Businessman Rick Baker makes money from Canadian rationing. People stuck on waiting lists like Shirley Healy pay him to get them to America for treatment. Healy had a blocked artery that kept her from digesting her food.
She was starving to death. She'd lost 50 pounds.
She hired Rick to help her get to this hospital in Washington State where she saw an American doctor.
The doctor said that I would have only had a very few weeks to live.
Yet the Canadian government calls her surgery elective.
The only thing elective about this surgery was I elected to live.
Now I should say, all of Canadian health care is not long lines. There is one place where they do offer easy access to cutting-edge, life-saving technology.
CT scan, endoscopy, thoracoscopy, laparoscopy, arthroscopic procedures to evaluate joints for cartilage abnormality.
Available all the time.
24 hours, 7 days a week.
Patients rarely wait.
If I see a patient that's torn a cruciate ligament in that patient's knee, we can generally have that patient scheduled within probably a week.
But you have to bark or meow to get this kind of treatment. Want a CT scan in Canada? Vet clinic said they could get a dog in the next day. For people, the waiting list is a month.
Many clients will come here with their pets, and as they're leaving, it's when next time I get sick, I want to come here. I don't want to go to the regular hospitals.
Nobody would want to go to those regular hospitals. I mean, Canada's free. I mean, would you want a CT scan? You got to bark to get that. They'll do it for pets, but for people, the wait list is longer. Coming up, more about Sick in America and even Michael Moore, and more from Michael Moore. So is he looking into health insurance and find out whose body is it anyway? Stay with us. Here's a problem with America's healthcare system. It's greed. Companies should not be paying sick people. What's the big deal?
$139 billion in windfall profits.
Medicine shouldn't be about profit. Many say it should be about caring for people. Then Vicky wouldn't have to be so scared.
What's going to happen if my cancer comes back?
How will I pay for it?
Who's going to take care of me?
The intent is to maximize profits.
It's why we've got to have government health care, says Michael Moore.
Get the profit out.
Get the profit out, get the private health insurance company out of there. That's right.
Government will do it better, he said. Heck, the post office delivers his father's Social Security check on time every month.
But mailing his check is simple. Healthcare is complicated. I don't want my healthcare to be like the post office with long lines. I want FedEx.
Relax, it's FedEx.
It's easy to make profit a dirty word.
The profit model is denigrated and dismissed as evil. But when Henry Ford came around, cars cost more than houses. He said, I can make it better and cheaper. In 8 years, he cut the price of a car by half. There are Henry Fords in healthcare. They're great doctors, great scientists, great business people.
But they have less incentive to innovate without profit. Government-regulated phones were once all black, rotary dial. Competitors seeking profit is what has given us the choices we have now.
Hello? Cell phones get better and cheaper?
Did you say better?
Cell phones are better than the old black phone I used to have.
I couldn't get a signal, between here and Columbus Avenue.
Aren't they better?
In fact, you know what I say to people? When are they going to invent the cell phone? Because I don't know what these are. Well, now I know, I watch your show, and I know...
You want government cars? I mean, you remember the best the planned economies could produce? That was the Trabant. It was awful. I was going to show you the picture.
He didn't remember the Trabant, so I showed him a picture. It was that East German car.
A Trabant is a two-stroke 600.
It was so primitive, just filling the tank was a hassle.
You have to use gasoline and oil, mix it together in here, and you shake the car back and forth to mix it together.
This was the best that governments could produce.
They're horrible. Are you kidding? Don't even use those as examples.
That's what happens when government produces things.
I understand why some people don't like the government running things now, but the government used to be really good at things. We did things like defeat the Nazis.
Well, yes, some things we want government to do, like fighting war. But government rarely does things efficiently.
The private sector does everything better because they compete.
Private sector does everything better? You are like so 13th century. I love this.
He can laugh at me, but it's people competing for profit that's lifted us out of the 13th century and given us 21st century medicine. Drug companies looking to make money create things that improve our quality of life and save lives.
Frankly, without Bristol Myers Squibb, I wouldn't be here.
Profit drives innovation, says Grace Marie Turner.
I want companies to come up with cures for Parkinson's, cures for cancer, cures for Alzheimer's. Unless there is a reward for them to do that, we're not going to have those new medicines.
Well, government has researchers. We have the NIH.
Government is responsible for 4% of the drugs on the market today.
Those expensive cancer drugs Vicky needs, they were made by companies looking to make a profit. So were these amazing artificial legs and artificial hearts, all invented for profit, as was Shirley's American surgery.
The idea of somebody profiting, who cares? I'm alive and I really don't care. That's the only part that's important to me.
And every year, thousands of people from countries with government health care make that calculation. When they can, they come to America for treatment. The famous Spanish tenor, Jose Carreras, didn't get treated for cancer in his home country. He went to Seattle. King Hussein of Jordan came here. So did the Sheikh from the United Arab Emirates. This Italian Prime Minister.
Hello, you lovely little children.
Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and many others.
This is the country of medical innovation. This is where people come when they need treatment. Literally, we're surrounded by medical miracles. Death by cardiovascular disease has dropped by 2/3 of the last 50 years. You got to pay a price for that type of advancement. Dick Cheney has had 4 heart attacks. He's not only able to walk up a flight of stairs, he can hold down full-time employment. 50 years ago, he would have been spending a lot of time lying down with his eyes closed. That is the miracle of modern medicine.
A miracle made possible by profit.
When 2020 returns, a whole new idea.
That's what it's all about. Profit's a nasty word. We should not say that. But when we come back, we're going back to the whole food market for a brand new idea. Is it all about grocery insurance or something else? Stay with me and find out. Don't you hate those damn deductibles on your insurance companies? And your health insurance? But what if we were to tell you all about those damn deductibles that could really reduce? Let John Stoss will explain.
5 years ago, the grocery chain Whole Foods switched to a different kind of health insurance, a policy that puts patients more in control.
Because it's like, at last, I can go to that acupuncturist. At last, I can spend the money the way I want to spend it.
That means employees like Braden Weirs must pay about $1,000 themselves before their insurance kicks in. If Braden gets cancer or heart disease, his insurance covers it. But if he has a sore throat or a sprained ankle, he pays. To help workers pay, Whole Foods puts money into an account for them. Braden got $1,500 this year. If he doesn't spend it on medical care this year, he keeps it, and the company adds more next year.
And I have plenty of money left over so I can go get my new prescription glasses at the end of the year.
HSA puts you in control.
Most companies call these accounts HSAs, health savings accounts, or health reimbursement accounts.
See, try this new system, and what happened? Our cost went way down.
But some employees were mad. They said, "We want our full coverage back."
When you go from a system where people are very dependent and now you're telling them, hey, you have to take more responsibility for your own health, that was frightening to them because they were going to have to be responsible for themselves. They weren't going to be taken care of any longer. So you had a vote. The result was 77% of the team members voted for the health plan that we have today.
Our CEO, John Mackey.
Today, some workers have $8,000 in their health accounts.
And then that's their money. It builds up over time. And so that's great because the money is compounding for them.
I can save up my money and afford to have a child later on.
He controls the money. And as the money builds up, it can cover all sorts of future out-of-pocket expenses.
And it changed behavior. They started asking how much things cost. They may not want to go to the emergency room if they wake up with a hangnail in the middle of the night. They may schedule an appointment now. They didn't ask what things cost before. Why should they? Somebody else is paying for it.
Thank you so much.
When she went to the doctor, marketing director Marianne Buttrose never used to ask.
Well, how much will this cost? Because it didn't matter.
And I'll get someone to help.
And now it matters to me because it's my money. It's my money.
Since it's her money, some people worry that health savings accounts will discourage people from getting care they need.
You don't get preventive care. You don't go to the doctor when you've got something you think might be wrong.
Maybe they economize by not getting health care that they need.
The premise in those kind of questions, John, are that people are stupid. They're not smart enough to make these decisions for themselves. It's sort of an elitist attitude. The individual is the best judge of what's right for the individual.
And most individuals are making smart choices.
People who have these high deductible health insurance policy take a lot better care of themselves. They'd have more yearly physicals because they're saying if I keep myself healthy, in the long run, I'm going to be spending less money.
Sherilyn Schmidt used her account when she wanted to get a physical. Since it was her money, she shopped around. She found prices varied by hundreds of dollars.
If I had regular insurance, I would have never called around and asked for prices. I would have just walked in, showed my card, said, I need a physical, and they would have given me a physical. And I don't even really know what they would have given me because I would walk in and say, I need a physical, and they would say, okay, well, this is what a physical entails, done.
And the fact that she was paying changed the way she thought about that physical.
So I started thinking, well, what am I getting for this price? For $1,200, what am I getting?
I hear some doctors are saying, gee, nobody's ever asked me that before.
Yeah, and they don't often know. I mean, that shows you how dysfunctional our healthcare system is, that people don't have the vaguest idea how much they're spending on healthcare, close to the closest $10,000 or $20,000 often when they go to the hospital. And the sellers don't have any idea what it costs.
We know what H-E-B is selling broccoli for right now, so we have to reflect our prices to the competition. But in healthcare, no one's trying to think, yeah, I'm going to cut 5% below that price so I can increase my business.
Some say healthcare is different. It's too complex. We can't decide that.
Gosh, should we allow people to make decisions about whether they have children or not? I mean, that's a pretty important responsibility, having children.
But I don't know anything about cancer treatments, which ones I should have.
I don't know anything about cars, but if I go buy a Toyota or an Audi or a Lexus, I know I'm going to get a pretty good automobile because competition ensures it'll be that way.
Which is why Americans buy Toyotas instead of Trabants. Of course, cars and cancer are different, but where there is competition, information resources like Consumer Reports and websites spring up to help consumers make decisions. As a sliver of competition has entered healthcare, similar resources are appearing rating doctors and hospitals.
My favorite is the Espresso Sierra.
John Mackey says this competition will improve healthcare, except so far, not enough people shop for it.
The doctor doesn't feel compelled to compete on price. The doctor isn't worried he's going to lose that business to a competitor down the street. So there really isn't any price competition going on.
That's why he says despite their big initial savings, Whole Foods healthcare costs are creeping up again.
But if everybody was out there asking doctors what things cost, if doctors were advertising their prices, we'd begin to see prices dropping.
And those prices drop dramatically. We're going to take a break, have a conclusion to Whose Body Is Anyway Sick in America when we come back. Stay with us. A few days ago, I was talking with a friend of mine who owns the ice cream bar down in Waldron, here in the Bluff. And she's concerned about a new building being put in place throughout the summer. And she's afraid that people are going to go to their business instead of hers. I told her it's just competition. And I told her no matter what happens, I'm going to stand by her, no matter what. But I'm going to tell you this. Competition is good. It's the reason why we have medical insurance. It's the reason why we have all these insurance companies. State Farm, Allstate, Geico, car insurance. If you have a choice, competition is good, but for Medicare insurances, we have competition. Us consumers, we win. It's a win-win for everything. Here's John Stossel.
Here's an odd-looking doctor's waiting room. It's elegant, and it's open Saturdays. So is this one. And what's this? The doctor is emailing patients. And he gives his patients his cell phone number.
Hello? I need to be available 24 hours a day. I want to be there when a patient has questions, and I want to be reachable. So you probably just give a call.
Bet your doctor doesn't say that.
Blink.
But Dr. Brian Bonani knows he has to please his patients, not some insurance company or the government, because he's paid by his patients.
Nice. Hold still.
He's a laser eye surgeon, and insurance rarely covers what he does.
That looks great.
Reshaping eyes so people can see without glasses.
Hey, Dr. Bonani. How you doing?
Brian Botha met with 4 doctors before picking Dr. Bonani to correct his vision.
Look straight ahead for me.
Brian demanded to know exactly what it would cost.
I can't get away with not telling the patient how much exactly it's going to cost. No one would put up with it. Thanks a lot. And a difference of $100 sometimes makes their decision for them. Great. Open.
Laser eye surgeons have to compete for their patients' business, and a result of that competition is lower prices.
In every other field of medicine, the price is going up faster than consumer prices in general. But the price of LASIK surgery on average has gone down by 30%.
We make LASIK easy to afford.
Prices dropped even though doctors pay for advertising.
Our surgeons performed over 500,000 procedures.
We'll go still now.
And while the procedure got cheaper, it also got better.
When the lasers first came out, all they could treat was nearsightedness. Nowadays, the lasers are faster, more precise.
She's here, so we'll be right with you.
We see better quality and lower prices in other medical fields where most people pay for care themselves. Cosmetic surgery is another example.
You're gonna look like 25.
The average price of cosmetic procedures has fallen because doctors like Jennifer Walden, if they want to get repeat business, have to offer patients a good deal.
Most of the patients that I see are going to maybe 3 or 4 doctors and then deciding on which doctor to go with. Good to see you again.
She makes certain she treats them quickly.
They can book surgery that day.
It's what happens when doctors respond to you, not your insurance company or the government. And it's happening now not just with elective surgery. We're starting to see providers offer everyday health care, even in shopping centers.
You do not have a primary care physician. That's why we're here.
This new kind of medical clinic, staffed by nurse practitioners, is popping up in stores like Walmart, in pharmacies, in grocery stores. They offer people with sore throats and ear infections relatively hassle-free care, cheap. Lacey Patterson came to this Ready Clinic in Arkansas because she didn't have a doctor or insurance.
Oh yes, you definitely have an ear infection here.
She was treated quickly and got a prescription for antibiotics.
one cat 3 times a day for 10 days.
Her visit cost her $49. Most everything here costs $59 or less.
Open 7 days a week, usually late at night, early morning.
But how can they make money?
They're figuring out how to do something faster, better, cheaper. They're responding to consumer demand because they see that they might make some money on this. Profit. And look who's winning. Moms and dads and kids, because they now have easy access to routine health care.
And some doctors find that dealing directly with patients changes their practice for the better. This family doctor in Tennessee said enough to the hassles of insurance companies and Medicare and Medicaid. He won't take insurance. Instead, he offers this price list with low prices.
This is so strange. A price list. I never see this. I would think you can't make money this way. It's $40 a visit.
Last year I made about the average of what a primary care physician makes in this country.
Can't hear you.
Dr. Robert Berry says not taking insurance saves him time and money.
I don't have to hire billers. I don't have to fight the insurance companies to get the money.
And that lets him keep his prices low.
Have a seat there.
His mostly uninsured patients save money.
It's looking pretty good.
Joe West paid about $200 to have a wound on his head stitched up.
You go to the hospital and they probably charge you $1,000 for the same thing.
Knowing that his patients pay with their money, Dr. Berry works with them, tries to find ways to save the money.
It's coming out of their pocket, John. And they're afraid. They don't know how much it's going to cost. So I can tell them, okay, you have heartburn. Let's start out with generic Zantac, which costs around $5 a month. But I see Nexium on TV. I see Prevacid. Yeah, but that costs about $130 a month. They're great medicines. But why don't you try this one first and see if it works?
And sometimes the $4 pill at Walmart is just as good as the...
Oh, yes.
Okay, thanks, Doc.
So when doctors deal directly with consumers, and consumers pay for things themselves, saving insurance for the big stuff, doctors start to compete, posting prices and working to keep them low. Where consumers decide for themselves, rather than having governments or insurance companies make decisions for them. Competition erupts, and competition gives us more choices.
Excellent.
Choice gives us power. Michael Moore should know that. After all, when he at one time weighed about 330 pounds and wanted help losing weight, where did he go? Not to Cuba or Canada or England or France. He went to this weight loss spa in Florida. It's privately run.
Now down the water.
Wow. That's good. I mean, competition equals choice. That's the whole formula here. Competition equals choice. If you get choices, that's why competition does. Competition is good. Competition equals choice. Competition is why we have all these companies here in the Bluff. Every company you have, competition is good. Competition is why we have all these things. We have Medicare, we have health insurances. Competition makes everything better. We're back in a moment. It's time for body cam break. We look at a video taken from a body cam footage from Sometimes Law and Crime Network. This was a couple weeks ago in Arizona. An Arizona mother was arrested after she was caught swerving her car in between lanes, randomly stopped in the middle of traffic and blown nearly 3 times over the legal limit to drive. While performing field sobriety tests, Claire Meacham told police officers needed to go get her baby, who they later found home alone crying in the crib. Wait till you see what she was charged with. Watch.
Before 3 p.m. in Mesa, Arizona, where police pull over a suspected drunk driver who allegedly left her baby home alone.
Driver, step out of the vehicle with your hands in the air. Put them on your head. Stand up. Face away from us. Face away. Walk back toward the sound of our voice. Slowly. Keep your hands on your head at all times. Walk back.
Hey, Twig.
Backwards. Walk backwards.
Twig, you guys come over here. Help us with the IA team.
Stop right there.
The suspect was caught on these traffic cameras where her car can be seen drifting into a turn lane, stopping well behind traffic at a light. And get this, A caller told police that the driver was momentarily passed out behind the wheel. Moments later, the car again drips into another lane, but police quickly catch up to the dangerous driver.
How much alcohol do you have to drink today, Claire? I don't know. Tomatoes. Okay. Do you know how much alcohol? How much alcohol you have today? I drank a buzzball. A buzzball. Okay. How many buzzballs did you have? Okay. What else did you have besides that? That's it. Okay. Are you taking any medications? Are you taking any drugs? When's the last time you smoked marijuana? You don't smoke marijuana at all? Okay. When did you have the buzzball? Okay. About how long ago? What time do you think it is right now? I think it's like 2 p.m. Okay, so when did you have it? 12. 12? Okay. Alright. What's in the buzzball? Well, it's almost 3 o'clock, so I wasn't with you, so I don't know when you drank it. Tequila? And rum. Tequila and rum. Okay. Alright. So you did not hiccup or right, or did you? Okay. So I'll explain all that to you, okay? But what I'm going to have you do is just turn around and face the vehicle for me, okay? I'm going to take these handcuffs off, okay?
Police identify the suspect as 23-year-old Claire Meacham, who admitted to drinking a buzzball.
Did you get in a crash or anything?
Calm down. Can you put your hand on your head, please? There you go. Possibly urine?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Just hang over.
Okay, Claire, you can turn around for me. Here, stand right here for me. Do you have a child? Do you have a kid? Okay, where's your kid right now? Your kid's at my house. Your kid's at your house? Where do you live?
Police discover Claire has a 5-month-old child, and one officer actively works to make sure that baby is okay.
Just relax, okay?
You don't even kill someone.
Who's with your child right now?
Friend.
A friend?
Yeah, but...
So the baby's safe and...
Yeah, but they told I was coming home.
Alright, that's alright. We'll get you home eventually, alright? Like I said, as far as we don't know if anybody's been injured or anything like that, okay? So you're okay. You're okay. Just relax, okay? I know, I understand.
Claire initially tells police her baby is with a friend. Let's see what she says after some field sobriety tests.
Hang on. I'm just going to have you stand like that, okay? So left foot on the line, then right foot in front of it and touch heel to toe, okay? And you'll stay in that position until I tell you to move, okay? Do you understand? Yeah, so. Yep. Are you able to stand like that for me? Yeah, so. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. I just need you to stand like that, okay? So left foot on the line, right foot in front of it and touch heel to toe. Arms down by your side. And you'll stay in that position until I tell you to move, okay? You understand? Okay. When I tell you to, you'll take 9 heel-to-toe steps down the line. Yep, 9 heel-to-toe steps down the line. With each step, you'll make sure your heel touches your toe. You'll watch your feet at all times. Count your steps out loud. Don't stop once you've started, okay? You get your 9th step, you'll leave your lead foot on line. So the small steps to turn around, then 9 out. Yep, you'll count out loud. 9 heel-to-toe steps back, okay? Can I ask a question? Sure. Why are there so many cops? Big coastline? Not that I'm aware of. Why are there so many cops? Because you were on the city streets and then on the freeway, and we've been trying to catch up to you, okay? So I'll explain that to you in a few minutes, okay? Let me demonstrate with 3 steps for you, okay? You'll remain standing like that, okay? So go ahead and stand like that for me. Left foot on line or right foot in front of it. Okay, arms down by your side. Okay. So right there, okay? However you'd like to stand is just fine. You don't have to have your arms a certain way or anything. You can put them down by your side and arrest me right now. What I'm going to ask for you to do right now is I'm going to ask you to give me a breath sample. Are you willing to do that? Okay. Why are you going to die? Why would you say that? Okay. Okay, so can I see my mom first? Are you 18 years old? How old are you? 22. Okay, so you're over 18. So we're not going to talk to your mom right now, but you can give her a call in a little bit, okay? So put your lips around this straw and blow out for me. Keep blowing, keep blowing. Okay, thank you. Just stand right here, don't go anywhere.
An arrest report shows Claire blew a .23, nearly 3 times the legal limit for driving. With the writing on the wall, our suspect decides it's time to come clean.
I think it's gonna blow something really bad. Potentially?
Okay, so Claire, you are under arrest. All you put your
By himself. Please don't get my baby.
You just said your friend was over there.
No. Please get my baby. Please, can I just call my mom? Please get him. Please get him. Please get him.
Where is he?
Please. Thanks, Ronnie.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Just
I
relax.
want my baby to have someone with him. I love him so much. I don't even matter. I'm gonna kill myself. I hate myself.
Why are you gonna kill yourself?
Because I hate myself so much. I'm not even meant to be alive. I hate myself so much. Please.
Claire is cuffed and taken to jail, where she was charged with DUI and child negligence. Police reports show that Claire told investigators she had been drinking at her home earlier in the day before leaving to go to a pool.
Actually, just put her to the side. It's okay.
Please go home.
Can you shut the door and everything for me?
The 23-year-old later pleaded guilty to the charges. As for her baby, officers rushed to check on the child.
They're on the off-ramp. Mary, can I show you a plate of clear on a Honda Civic? Girl section, I was talking to you, so go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to see if Mary 33 is taking primary and that's 92.
Hi, this is Officer Biasco at the Mesa Police Department. Are you inside? Are you?
Right now, the house.
Yeah, can you open the door?
Is there something going on?
Yes.
I'm at a different residence.
Where's the child?
I don't know, but I will come home right now, okay?
How far are you?
I'm with Grandma.
Well, how far are you?
10 minutes away.
Okay.
I'm at the 202 University.
Okay, you have a key to get in?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. If you can hurry, please.
Yes.
I hear it. Yeah. He's in there. Yeah. You're all right, buddy. Think we can wait 10 minutes? I heard him. That's good enough for me.
Police managed to get a hold of someone through a Ring doorbell, but after hearing the baby crying, officers decide not to wait and enter the home.
Mesa Police! Mesa Police Department! Anybody in here? Hey man, we're going into the residence, so just be aware we're gonna be in. We have a key. Yeah, we got a key. There's a big dog right there. Yeah, is that dog aggressive? Huh? Hi. Hi, Papa. Hi. How you doing? You okay? Hi. You okay? Hi. Clear the house. I'll stay with him.
Good baby?
Yeah. Hi, Chulo. Hi. Get the car seat and see if you can get a diaper bag or something. Hi. Put out there that baby's code 4. That's enough. I don't know if it's old. I don't know. Hello. Some wipes. Grab some diapers if you see them.
Lincoln 82, did you copy that? Lincoln 82, already done. Child looking for Buffalo. Copy. Whoever's primary, we're going to have to charges for that, and everybody
Grandma's gonna be here in 10 minutes. She was at the 202 in University, so I think we just hang out. I just don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't want dog to come in.
Dog over there? Yeah, I don't know if it's a dog door or not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For big dog. Okay.
It's nice, huh?
It is nice, yeah. I don't know if he needs changing. I don't know.
The baby was found safe, and those nice officers watched over him while they waited for Grandma to arrive.
We just secured the baby and we're feeding it right now. And we have him in his car seat and we're getting a diaper bag ready just in case, and Grandma should be here soon.
What's up, buddy? Oh yeah, that's good stuff. That's the good stuff. It like takes me in. I was overdue for some lunch.
DCF was contacted, and the child was later released into Grandma's custody.
So what do we learn today, boys and girls? Here's what we learned today. You don't leave your child home alone. You leave a child with a babysitter. Child negligence, DUI. You can be arrested for those things. That's why we got stuff like this that can get you in a lot of trouble. And you may not like what I have to say, but shit happens. And when it does happen, we have to look from another angle. We have to understand where we're coming from here. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but God, I'm stuck. I understand where his mom's coming from. She had too much to drink and all. If she's going to the pool, then she needs to take the child with him. But if he's going, but if she's going to the bar, the child cannot be left in the car. Leave the child with a babysitter, or wait for the caregiver to come. Then you can be on your way. Once the caregiver comes, then you can be on your way. That's it. It's just common sense. Don't leave your child home alone. Don't drink and drive, otherwise you could be like that one. That's Game Break for this Saturday going to Sunday. We're going to see you again for Game Break Monday with Sammy the Bull Garano. And possibly more about the Gift of Fear with Gavin the Beggar. Good night.